Hey time travelers, today's question, how do we go about finding the styles and different takes that we enjoy? Let's dig in and find out. Hey everybody, my name is Jesse. I'm an NAAP certified life coach, and I'd like to welcome you to my Fashion Friday series, helping men to find the fashion or style that works for them. Join me in the journey. So today's question really digs into the heart of figuring out what it is that you look good in, what is it that you enjoy, and how can you own it to make it yours. One of the things I've found that helped me was just try things on, see what works, see what you feel drawn to. I personally have found that I enjoy history. I enjoy history bounding, as it's called, going through time, figuring out things that are a little bit quirky, a little bit different, and making it my own. So a couple examples are my wife had gotten into some hat making just to try things on and had made this hat. I found I enjoyed the style, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the color. The color and pattern, they didn't fit very well with a lot of what I wore. So what I did is I went and I took the pattern and made one of my own using my own styles and techniques and ended up with this. And so I practiced some different techniques. I played with the patterns on it, and I did crochet it. So there's different texture to it. And I found that this is now one of my favorite hats that I'll wear out and about. Now, I didn't start there. I originally started with ball caps. So growing up, these are things that I tried on. I found a few that I liked. This is one of the newer ones that I've added to my collection. But we really don't have to stick with one thing. We can play around with it. We can try stuff on, see what draws our attention, what we find we like. And I think too often we end up finding ourselves caught in a trap of, once I have found a style, I have to stick with it the rest of my life. And I think that's a fallacy. And I think does us a true disservice. What I've found is that by playing around, trying things on, and just seeing what works makes a difference. So I would ask you, what is it that you've always felt drawn to, things that you've liked that you'd want to try, maybe wanted to do it as a costume but never really felt the confidence to get up the gumption to do it? Give it a shot. See if you don't like it. If you don't, it doesn't work with your style, what are you out? A few bucks? A trip to the costume store to try something on? And if you do find you like it, don't be afraid to invest in it. It's part of you. You're trying to find yourself. It can improve how you carry yourself. I know I gave a shot to trying on this hat at a Ren Fair. I have loved the style of tricorn hats for years, but never really had gotten up the confidence to do it. My wife finally talked me into it. I actually rather enjoyed the look. And it gave me the confidence to own it. Not many people enjoy the hat style anymore, and that's okay. If you enjoy it, that's enough. Now, I do recognize that not everybody has the confidence to take the next step that I did, but I actually went as far as to make a hat that I've used and worn, and the fit isn't quite what I want. There's a few things that I learned from this that next time I do it, I'm definitely going to be learning from and redoing. But in the meantime, it is a very serviceable hat. It functions. It does the job. Keeps the sun off really well. And it gave me the option to play around and have fun. And I think that's something that a lot of us have given up on, is having fun with our outfits. Own who you are. Enjoy it. If you don't feel like yourself walking around town, something is wrong. And I think that's something that needs to be looked at and addressed. And then, of course, my wife had one of these laying around that I've kind of co-opted this one as my own. It's a classic fedora. Yeah, it's quirky, it's fun. When I wear it with a black suit, I look a bit mob boss-esque. And really, that's kind of part of the fun of it. Now, I've focused on hats today, but you can take this any direction. You can play with it with jackets, coats. This is one that I was given as a gift for Christmas. It's just a sweater. But it works in different settings, but it also is very warm. So I use it around the house and arguably could count it as a lounge jacket in some circumstances, just because it's comfy and cozy and enjoyable. Now for you, you may take a different take on it. You may find that you prefer the slightly more laid back, casual styling, and there is nothing wrong with that. Whatever direction you take, lean into it. Enjoy it. And here's another element. What trends have you felt pressured into adopting? question those. Figure out, why is it that you felt pressure? Why didn't you feel like it was a choice on your part to lean into that and owning that style? What would happen if you tried it again, picking it this time, and taking it and figuring out how to own the style intentionally this time, rather than making it a, I'm just doing it because everybody else is? Give it a shot. See if you don't find that you enjoy some of the older styles that you've used historically, but didn't like because you felt the peer pressure. Now, at the same time, don't be afraid to go off the deep end. Today, I'm dressed down further than I usually do with a t-shirt, but what is it that you could own? If you're doing a t-shirt, do you feel like you'd be more comfortable with a button-up thrown over the top as a overshirt? I think there's nothing wrong with that. I did that for a while, and I actually enjoyed it. Personally, I found that I really enjoy vests and button-up shirts because it helps me feel more put together in many cases. However, you may feel different. You may feel a vest is stuffy and you don't like how it appears on you. Maybe you're more of a Western jacket or Western shirt person with yoke collar and shoulders. Nothing wrong with that. I've actually seen several people who own that really well, and to each their own. Everybody has a style that will look good on them. Now, that being said, I will push back on individuals who say every style works for everybody. I have found that to be incorrect on so many levels. Find the style that works for you and own it. Now, there are variations of most styles that will work for anyone, that can be adapted to work for someone. But again, that's most. There are those that you have to have a very specific face structure or whatever to make it happen. But most of those are modern. If you go back in time, most of the styles, the cuts, they were very flexible. And that was done intentionally because each person took that style and made it their own. And I think we can bring that back if we do it intentionally. So I invite you to share with me where you've seen that happen. What styles have you enjoyed and made your own? What styles and quirks have you pulled off that other people may not have been able to do as well? I look forward to hearing you in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. Now, if you think I've gone off the deep end and I'm off the rails, call me out. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's see if we have an opportunity to grow or learn from each other. Otherwise, if you just need some help implementing this, reach out. I'm here for you. I'd love to help. I'd love to give you a hand. Or who do you know who could get value from this video? I invite you to share it with them. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on notifications on future uploads and videos. And let's be the change that we want to see in the world. Join me. One person at a time. Let's watch this avalanche begin.